this is Captain Chaudhary. Today I want to speak about Enhanced Survey Program. What is this Enhanced Survey Program? Is it a different kind of survey? No, it is not a different survey. It is the method of survey. So there is this guideline that is given as per ESP code. With the ESP code, IMO wants to give the guidelines in respect of enhanced program of surveying these bulk carriers and tankers, which are owing to some or the other reason, they are exposed to excessive stresses, and sometimes they may break down because of this excessive stress that is caused on them. So there was a spate of accidents of bulk carriers, and in most cases it was not known as to how the bulk carrier was lost. So they had a lot of theories as to how the deterioration of the bulk carrier hull took place, and how suddenly, without any apparent warning, the ship disappeared. The people on the ship could not narrate the story like how the bulk carrier has gone down, which means that it must be sudden collapse of the hull. So one of the common conclusions in the various theories was that the strengthening members, so we are generally talking about the single hull bulk carrier when the bulk carriers went down. One of the theories was the strengthening members, that is the frames, beams, girders, etc., inside the hold, they got deteriorated. Now, how it happened? It can happen because of mechanical disturbance, or it can happen because of the exposure to the moisture and chlorides. Now, the thing is, they found that all these bulk carriers which had these structural members inside the hold, and the holds were not smooth at the time of discharge. In the discharge port, what they used to do is they used to bring the caterpillar, pneumatic hammer and all sorts of nonsense, and they used to hammer the ship side. The idea is the bulk which is stuck on top will fall down. This was absolutely unhealthy. This was not done. Any chief officer, when he is handing over, or a master when he is handing over command, he says that, oh, this is normal. This is normal with the bulk. No, nothing is normal. Nothing abnormal can be normal. If you hear anything which is not normal, any sound which is abnormal, anything that's happening on the ship does not, appeal to your eyes as normal, you have to react on. People were apparently silent on these things, as if these things keep happening on the bulk carrier. No. One of the most important things, apart from enhanced survey program, which should be done on the bulk carriers, is the officers who are working on the bulk carrier, they have to be very, very careful that no unhealthy sound comes from the holds while the cargo is discharged, right? Typically, they would do these kind of activities when the cargo is finishing. They don't want to leave the chunks of bulk cargo, hanging on top, etc., or hidden behind the beams, etc. So, enhanced survey program for the bulk carrier was definitely needed, because bulk carriers, the long bulk carriers, they had tendency to structurally fall, and they had to trace the reason. They have to rectify. They have to, make sure that the ships perform in a certain way and continue to perform for a considerable number of years. So survey is one option. A different kind of survey is one option, or methodology they use in doing the survey is one option, but continuous monitoring of the hull is also very important, and that's the responsibility of the officers who serve on bulk carriers, right? So bulk carrier otherwise was once upon a time considered one of the most dangerous ships to sail on. Luckily, with enhanced survey program, a lot of things were improved. Tankers are also long vessels. The tankers can be considered as more strong compared to the bulk carriers, in the sense like it can be considered as a box girder with continuity of 4.5 strength members on all the sides, with very small breaks, very small openings. So you can consider the tanker to be like torpedo. You can consider it like a submarine. Inside is also liquid, outside is of also liquid. So nothing much to worry. But all those tanker big or the great accidents of the tankers which have happened in the history, they have really created their own history. And the damage that was caused to ecology, the birds, the fishes, the nature, and the coastline, and the recreational facilities which were there on the coast, and the other people, was phenomenal. So they said that let there be enhanced survey program which deals with a method of doing the survey, method of doing these annual and 5-yearly surveys, right? So enhanced survey program, basically, if you want to say the most important things in the enhanced survey program, I would say there are 3 things. Number 1 is thickness monitoring, and number 2 is close-in inspection, and number 3 is the documentation. These 3 are very, very important. I think everything that is said or done in enhanced survey program surrounds around these 3 things. So basically ESP 2011 enhanced survey program 2011 code has these 2 types of ships, that is the bulk carriers and tanker, discussed in Annex A and Annex B. Now both these annexes are divided in 2 parts, that is single hull vessel and the double hull vessel. Now when we talk about the tanker, we also understand that these double hull tankers were eliminated. I mean, there was this period that was decided beyond which the heavy oil tankers or the cargo oil tankers should not be seen. So basically what happened is, although the crude oil carrier, that is massive tankers, etc., which were single hull tank, they all had to be decommissioned or modified, I would say. But still, you might have some single hull tankers which are carrying other things than the crude oil, right? We are talking about marine pollution because of crude oil or some kind of heavy oils. So we might have some single hull tanker operating in certain geographical regions with certain kind of cargo, or they might be carrying something, or they might be used as storage tankers, etc. So the thing is, the ESP code covers all the ships, that is single hull ships as well as double hull ships, when we talk about bulk carriers as well as tankers. So ESP code has got several chapters. We will talk in a very brief the title of these chapters. Chapter 1 is general, which talks about surveyors, the repairs, the thickness monitoring, close-in inspection, etc. Chapter 2 is renewal survey. It talks about dry docking survey and overall survey. It also talks about extent of overall survey and extent of pressure, tank pressure testing. In addition, it also talks about thickness monitoring and close-up surveys. Then it also talks about the inspection or testing in respect of Regulation 12 and 13 of Chapter 12 of SOLAS, which is in respect of bulk carriers. So Regulation 12 is about the level detectors and 13 is about the pumping capability in respect of these areas. Chapter 3 is annual survey. It deals with the general examination of the ship, and additionally the survey or inspection in respect of Regulation 9.1 of Chapter 12 of SOLAS, which is in respect of bulk carriers. Chapter 4 is intermediate surveys. Intermediate surveys involve some extra testing or certain extra items to be done during the survey. It can be connected with second or third annual survey, and it basically the intensity or the quantity of the survey items will increase with the age of the ship, right? Chapter 5 is preparation for the survey. So preparation of the survey would involve various things, like it talks about the meeting that would be conducted. It talks about the situation, whether the survey would be conducted at sea, at anchorage, or where the survey would be conducted. Then it also talks about the equipment and items which are necessary for the including the arrangement for ship structure access, that has to be provided to the surveyor. Chapter 6 is documentation. So it talks about the report file and it talks about the review of the report file. And it says that this file must be made available to the surveyor whenever they ask. Chapter 7 is procedure for thickness measurement. IMO gives a lot of stress on the method and who's going to do thickness measurement. So much so that the company who's going to do thickness measurement, they have to be assessed first whether they are capable of doing it. Thickness measurement means measurement of the metal that is wasted. It is very, very important to know that, because the metal might be getting wasted from the areas which we are not aware, we are not able to monitor just like that by visual inspection. So it is detected by thickness monitoring. So it becomes one of the most important, or I would say the most important part of the ESP. Chapter 8 is reporting and evaluation of survey. Now it is important to guide the surveyors also, like how they should be evaluating the loss of strength or the structural strength of the ship. And then it is reviewed and it is reported. So the procedures are indicated, procedures are explained in this chapter 8. Chapter 9 is requirement for owner's inspection and maintenance. It puts the responsibility on the owners that the vessel is continuously monitored and inspected and maintained. So it gives them the responsibility that the survey alone cannot do everything. Survey is a periodic testing. In survey we can detect that so much loss has happened, but during the progress of the life of the ship, we should make sure that the ship does not have this kind of deterioration, particularly in the areas which are not continuously monitored, or where the loss of metal cannot be detected by visual inspection. So I'll have a few more videos on enhanced survey program, whereby we will talk about the other aspects, including the definitions and the annexes which are there under ESP.